Now it's August and you're probably thinking it's the end of the growing season now. Well, if you are, I'm here to tell you, think again, because August is the perfect time to start planting a second crop in the year, and I reckon I can get you fresh vegetables in the next 6 weeks. Because today I've got 5 crops I'll be sowing and planting that I'll be harvesting before the first frosts arrive, and in Scotland that can be only a few weeks' time. Rocket, one of my favourites. You can plant it just about anywhere. You can put it in tubs, you can put it in window boxes, you can sprinkle it straight on the soil itself and it'll do really well. What I like to do is pop it in a pot, put a bit of seed compost on the top of there, get it smooth. The reason I liked Rocket is it's very forgiving, you know. This time of year, August, you plant it. As long as you make sure it gets a bit of water, it'll just start growing into leaf very quickly, and there's a good chance it won't go to seed at all. So you'll get a heck of a crop over the next 6 or 8 weeks out of this. And all I do for this is, it's a very fine seed. I don't know if you can see it. Try and hold that to you. But it's very, very fine. And all I do is sprinkle it around the top of the pot. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit too close, because you're going to start harvesting it when it's quite young anyway. Now, Rocket itself has that lovely spicy taste to it, you know. It's great on salads, it's good in soups and stews. It's such a versatile salad veg, really. And I know that looks crazy, but that's about as easy as it is. That's about as easy as it comes. Dead simple. Take a stick, write on what's in it, stick your label on, give it a watering, and that's as easy as that. Now this will be up. In about 3 weeks you'll see the first leaves come through. In about 5 weeks you'll be picking them. If you pick the small leaves from the bottom, let the plant continue to grow and you'll be able to harvest it for quite a while. This will go right up until when the weather really changes and it gets really, really cold. Sometimes if you have a mild winter, this stuff can keep going right through till January or February. I'll put this off to one side for now. Spinach. Spinach is another really good crop for now. Only takes about 28 days before you're starting to harvest those leaves. And as it's only middle of August now, the weather's quite mild, we're getting moisture in the form of light rain. I mean, we've had light rain for 5 days in a row, but you've still got the warmth in the air and the warmth in the soil. So if you've got a tiny balcony and a little space or a window box, a few spinach seeds in there could keep you going for weeks, you know. And again, all I've done here is I've filled a seed tray up, because what I plan on doing is growing this in plugs. And then as I start to harvest the crops from elsewhere, things like the carrots and the onions, I'll put a plug of these seeds into there. And it helps out a lot. Now, all you need to do for this is put 2 seeds in each cell. That's all. All right, I dropped 3 in that one, I admit it. And as long as you've got 2 seeds in each, that'll give you enough spinach coming through in those cells to plant them on. Now, all I've done there is I've put 2 rows in there. I don't need any more than that at the minute. I like to plant it kind of a week or 2 apart, so it gives us a bit of a continuity. And with a little bit of the extra compost over the top of those 2 there, just to cover it in really. I'll give it a good watering when I've planted everything else in there as well. And then as long as I stick a label on it so I remember what's in those rows, so that's it for your spinach. Now, I've still got a lot of space here that I can continue to plant seeds into. Now, it's really good getting a little plug tray like this, especially one of these deep ones, because it allows you to keep your seedlings in here a bit longer so the roots can go down. So if you had them in a tiny shallow place, they'd get a little bit root bound very quickly, and if you didn't have the weather to get them planted out, they could go over a bit before they're ready to go. So the best thing is, if you've got a bit extra space, you can keep them in here a little bit longer. So if the weather turns lousy and you can't get them planted out, they'll be all right in here for another week or 2. What I'm going to look at in here is a winter cabbage. Now, winter cabbage is really cool. It's a little bit slower to grow, but it does keep growing. Now, if you have a mild winter where you are, we don't usually have mild winters up here, but if we did, I'd be able to harvest this right through the winter. Now, the same again as you don't want lots of seed in, because you only want a couple of lettuces to come up in each of these spots. The idea then is that I'll be able to break that plug apart and I'll have 2 lettuces to plant. Now, if you put a bit extra seed in, it's not going to break the bank. I wouldn't worry too much about it, because you can always filter it out a little bit later. Same technique, press it down about 1/4 of an inch, couple of seeds in each one, and that's all you need. So when people are telling you, you've got to be really precious, you've got to measure your seed out and count them and all the rest, well, you can, or you can just do it like that. That looks pretty easy to me. Extra seed goes in there, handful of the gubbinses goes over the top, and there we have 10 cells of lettuce. And if I get 2 lettuces out of each one of those, that's 20 lettuces. Now, for my little garden, that'll keep me going for ages. And again, like I say, you just protect these through the winter. If you find that the weather's turning really bad, put them in the shade somewhere, put something over the top, cover them with a plastic box or something, cling film even, put something over just to protect them from that bitter cold. But if you have a mild winter, well, it'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? So I'll just pop a label on there so I know what's in there. Now, folks have asked me, they've said, Paul, why don't you put all the details on, the name of the variety and the date you've planted it, and which way the sun was shining, and was it a full moon? No, I never bother putting on, I know it's a bad habit, but I never putting on the variety that I put in, because I kind of change it each year. But half the time I forget what I've planted anyway, and I just live in the moment of the garden. Whatever comes through is what's supposed to come through. What doesn't is what's not supposed to come through. And whatever it is that I like is what I like. Does that make sense to you? Now, I'm going to pop in here now in these next few cells. Again, very simple. Onions. Now, these are spring onions. Down Tyneside we'll call these scallions. Same again, you just push this down so it's about 1/2 inch or so down. Now, the purists will tell you put 1 of these in each of these cells and then you'll grow them on and pop them out. I'm not a purist. I'll tell you that you put a pinch of 3 or 4 seeds in each of these, maybe even more. And what you'll get will be a clump of spring onions coming up. And then you plant on that little clump, and it will grow as a clump, and it'll grow perfectly well as a clump as well. Now, all right, they might not grow as big as the individual spring onion, but I don't mind, because I'm just going to have lots and lots. I'm going to put them in this side as well here. The spring onions, you can never have too many of them. I'll get lots of clumps of spring onions, which when they're ready, if I want, I'll be able to plant them out into the garden itself in a little corner somewhere. Spring onions are brilliant for that. You find a little corner and you think, I'll not get anything in there. Oh, I'll pop a couple of those clumps of spring onions in, and they just grow away by themselves, and when they're ready, you've got the most beautiful spring onions to put in your salads. It doesn't get better than that, to be honest, and it doesn't get easier than that either. Now, although this packet says White Lisbon onions, I'm going to write on springs, because that's what I'll remember is me onions, me spring onions. And again, a bit more of this on here. You see, I think there's 2 ways of doing gardening. There's the precious way, where you follow every instruction and you grow really good crops, and you look at it and you're measuring them and you're weighing them and you're tasting them and you're grading them and all this sort of thing. And then there's the other way, which is where you have fun. Now, I've never been one for recording lots of details. In fact, ask anybody that knows me, they'll tell you that. But I've always been one for having fun. If a job isn't fun to do, why bother wasting your life doing it? If gardening's not fun to do, then go to a supermarket and buy what you want. But for me, it has to be fun. And gardening like this is a lot of fun. And I love talking to you guys about it as well, because I get to hear your stories about your gardening as well. And some of you are as monkey crazy as what I am. So again, I'll just pop these back in here, stick them in my seed box, and that's 3 different lots of veg in there. 1 we've got down in the bottom, so that's 4 lots of veg in 10 minutes. Now the next one, slightly different. Let me just move these out the way. I'm using one of these mushroom boxes here. They're good to work with. I throw them away and I go and get them, and I get about 2 years, 3 years out of them, and then they start to break down, and then they go in the recycle. Now in the bottom I put some of my own compost, and in here is some of my own seed compost on the top there. Now all I'm doing here is I'm filling it up quite high, but I'm firming it down. And what we're going to put into here is mustard. Now I know mustard is a funny crop. Some people will grow it as like a green compost, which is really good. Others will try and grow it in little pots. Some will undersow their tomatoes, and I quite often do that as well with mine. But when it's like this, it grows like the old-fashioned cress. Remember when you were a kid and you put cress seeds on a paper towel at school and they grew? Well, it's a bit like the same here. You're going to very shallowly plant some mustard on the top, and what you're going to get is like quite a thick block of mustard greens, and they are so tasty. Again, all you do on here is you just sprinkle them on. You're not worrying about there being too many, because you're not going to grow them to a 4-foot high plant. Can you see that? That's it. It's as easy as that. And then with what you've got left, cover it over with about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch maximum. Don't bury them too deep. You bury them too deep, they won't come on. Now remember, all of these vegetables that you've just seen us plant now, they will all be picked within the next 6 weeks. Now remember, these 5 veg that we've just planted in like 10 minutes, these will all be ready to pick in between 4, 5 and 6 weeks time, say. If the weather in your area is a bit wet and a bit cold, it might take a little bit longer. But you'll be picking these until the winter comes on. So in that little bit of garden where you thought you'd finished because you just harvested your cabbages or whatever, you can plant these up and you'll get a whole new crop before the winter arrives. Now there are more vegetables than this that you could be planting now. I mean, I haven't put the spinaches in yet, and I haven't put in the pak choy, and I haven't... Well, I'll tell you what, let's make another video showing you another 5 that you can put in that will grow through the winter. So these ones you harvest before the winter. The next lot we do, you harvest through the winter. They'll keep you going right through the hungry gap. Pop back here in a few days' time and we'll have a chat about it. I'll catch you later. Now, let's get that kettle on. Bye-bye.